Hello? Okay. Hello. My name is Hadrien. I'm 16, a senior, a fan of Sabrina Carpenter. But the most obvious way to describe me at first sight is, well, I'm French. I'm Asian, and it means a lot of things. One of them being that people may have interacted differently because of how I look, like asking me where I'm really from or if I know Kung Fu. Of course, this is due to what they think my culture is like and how they see it appear in their daily life, which brings me to the topic of speech, representation in media. What I mean by representation in media is how certain groups of people are portrayed in works of art like literature, movies, or TV shows, entertainment in general. It's when you see African Americans, Hispanics, Asians, gays, lesbians, asexuals, bisexuals, fat people, people suffering from mental illness. It's important because it's a bit of a painting of the current society. Whether something is considered normal or groundbreaking really shows a lot about the growth of mentalities. A good example of that would be Black Panther, the 5th highest grossing film in the United States, and a movie about a black superhero. Black Panther isn't the most popular superhero in the comics, but this movie worked. It worked because people actually care about representation. It showed that a whole part of the population just waited for a movie that acknowledged and celebrated the African and African American culture, but they had to wait until 2018 for producers to fund a movie like this. There's good representation and bad representation. Bad representation happens when characters are only defined by their ethnicity or sexuality and perpetuate stereotypes. We see this in basic movie tropes like the gay best friend or the Asian nerd. The documentary, The Problem with the Pooh, goes in depth on how having one single character representing the whole South Asian immigrant community can actually be harmful, especially if it's a white guy doing an accent. Which brings me, of course, to lack of representation altogether. I couldn't not talk about whitewashing in Hollywood. Recently, we had Ghost in the Shell and Doctor Strange that would already established Asian character and casted white actors to play these roles. I mean, it's not great. The initial reaction is just, really? Can you just let us have this? It's amazing how great length producers went just to avoid casting minorities in their movies. But the thing is, this representation is already slowly but surely happening. I mean, the industry changed so much in the last 20 years or so. We got The Big Sick last year, a rom-com made by an Asian American. 3 weeks ago, there was Love, Simon, which was amazing, by the way. Then in The Last Hours, Kelly Marie Tran, I mean. Then can we talk about Andy Mack? It's a Disney Channel show whose main protagonist is part Asian, and one of her best friends is biracial, and the other one is Jewish and explicitly gay. And obviously, the opening is sung by the most perfect, amazing, and talented person of our generation, Sabrina Carpenter. This representation is happening all the more on the internet. I mean, in France, 2 of the most popular YouTubers are half Chinese, half Vietnamese brothers that have a very wide audience. On the Anglophone side, there's Anna Kana, Natalie Schran, who actually inspired me to do the speech, or the Wong Fu Productions, and that's just on YouTube. I spend a lot of time on Twitter, and it made me discover beautiful souls like Sarah Kay or Jomni Sun, who inspires me as a person so much. Some people might say that putting all these minorities in lead can drive regular people off, but I really don't think that's true. I mean, minorities succeeded in relating to white people all their lives. My favorite show could basically be called White Girl Meets White World. It's a good show. And obviously, Sabrina Carpenter's in it. The sad thing is that all these pictures are from my phone. I didn't need to look them up. Representation is important to me because of how much it would have helped me when I was younger and insecure. Just seeing people that look like me or have the same story as I did, living their best life and being okay with themselves. And obviously the range of insults would have been so much greater. There's not only Jackie Chan anymore. And if you don't want to do it for diversity, gosh, sorry. Okay, I really wanted to do speech now because it's our turn. It's our turn to tell stories, and we get to decide how we want to tell them. There are so many stories that are left to be told. Just look at mine. I mean, I'm a French Vietnamese that's going to private school in Texas. How awesome is that? Reach out if you want to work on a project, by the way. But if you don't want to do it for diversity, that's fine. But remember Black Panther. That movie had a huge success. As Kumail Nanjiani put it, don't do it because it's better for society and representation, even though it is. Do it because you get rich. Overall, I just want better stories. Stories that make you feel accepted or that challenge a bit your views. And we get to do that. It's just a nice touch of hope for a future that really needs it. So tell stories and listen to Sabrina Carpenter. Thank you.